Ready to swap out the daily grind for turquoise waters and ancient mysteries.
Sounds like a plan.
We're diving deep into Sardinia today, an island where you can explore Roman ruins in the morning,
Oh, I love Roman roast.
relax on a pristine beach in the afternoon,
The beaches in Sardinia are truly world class.
and feast on the freshest seafood under the stars.
Now you're talking. The food in Sardinia is just as incredible as its history and scenery.
But before we jump on a plane, let's start with the basics. Where exactly is Sardinia?
Sardinia is nestled in the heart of the Mediterranean Sea,
Okay, so we've got its location.
just west of mainland Italy.
Gotcha.
It's the second largest island in the Med,
Wow, I didn't realize it was that big.
but it often gets overshadowed by its more famous neighbors.
Like which ones?
Places like Sicily or Corsica, for example.
Ah,
Which is a shame because, as we'll discover, it holds its own in terms of beauty, history, and cultural treasures.
okay. I'm intrigued. So we've got its location. Now, what about the geography and climate? What can we expect when we step off that plane?
Picture this, a landscape of contrasts. Rugged mountain ranges rising up from the coastline, creating dramatic scenery.
Okay, so hiking boots are a must.
Definitely pack those hiking boots, and then along the coast you'll find those picture-perfect sandy beaches
Now you're speaking my language.
with crystal clear turquoise waters that Sardinia is famous for.
Okay, so pack for both hiking boots and swimsuits.
Exactly. And the climate. It's classic Mediterranean, warm, dry summers and mild, wet winters,
Sounds perfect.
making it a year-round destination depending on what you're looking for.
Now, let's dive into the history. Sardinia has layers upon layers of it. What are some of the key historical periods or civilizations that have shaped this island?
Oh, we could spend hours talking about Sardinia's history.
Well, give me the highlights. What are the
Yeah.
must-knows?
Imagine this, a timeline that stretches back to prehistoric times.
Okay, we're talking way back.
We're talking about the Nuragic civilization, a mysterious Bronze Age culture that left behind these incredible stone towers called nuraghi, which are scattered all over the island.
Wait, stone towers from civilization most people have never even heard of?
Ugh.
Okay, you've officially piqued my interest. What else is on this historical timeline?
Fast forward a few centuries, and you've got the Phoenicians,
Okay, I know those guys.
the Carthaginians,
Right.
and then the Romans, all leaving their mark on Sardinia.
I knew the Romans had to be in there somewhere. They were everywhere.
The Romans, in particular, had a major influence, and you can still see evidence of their presence in the ruins of amphitheaters, temples, and aqueducts.
So walking through the streets of Sardinia is like stepping back in time.
Exactly.
But what happened after the Romans?
Well, after the fall of the Roman Empire,
It all went downhill from there.
Sardinia went through a period of Byzantine rule,
Okay.
followed by Arab conquests. Then, in the Middle Ages,
Things started to get interesting, I bet.
something really unique happened. Sardinia was divided into 4 independent kingdoms called judicates. Imagine these kingdoms vying for power, building castles,
Castles, yes.
and developing their own unique cultures.
Okay, judicates. I'd never heard of those.
Okay.
So each of these kingdoms had its own distinct culture. That's fascinating.
Exactly. And that legacy lives on today in the island's diverse traditions, music, and even dialects. Later on, Sardinia came under the rule of various European powers, including the Spanish and the Piedmontese,
Wow, a real mix of influences.
before finally becoming part of a unified Italy in the 19th century.
Wow, what a whirlwind history. So with all these different influences, what's Sardinian culture like today?
It's a vibrant blend of the ancient and the modern.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
You'll find traditional festivals and celebrations that date back centuries, alongside a thriving contemporary art and music scene.
So it's not just stuck in the past.
Definitely not. And of course, the island has its own unique language, Sardinian,
Ah, right, I'd forgot about that.
which has its roots in Latin, but has evolved into its own distinct branch of the Romance language family.
So even though it's part of Italy, it has a very distinct identity and culture.
Absolutely. And that's what makes it so special. You're not just visiting Italy, you're experiencing a unique microcosm of cultures and traditions.
Okay, I'm ready to immerse myself in this cultural melting pot. But before we get into all the incredible things to see and do, let's talk about where we'll be basing ourselves. Where should a first-time visitor to Sardinia even begin?
Well, I always recommend starting in Cagliari, the island's capital city.
Okay, makes sense.
It's a vibrant mix of the ancient and the modern.
We seem to be hearing that a lot about Sardinia, and I like it.
You can wander through the historic Castello district
Ooh, I love historic districts. Tell me more.
with its narrow, cobbled streets,
Yes.
ancient fortifications,
Love it.
and stunning views over the city.
Okay, Cagliari is definitely going on my list. What are some must-sees in the city?
Well, you can't miss the Roman amphitheater. It's incredibly well preserved.
I always wonder how they built those things to last so long.
You can just imagine the gladiatorial combats and chariot races that took place there centuries ago.
I can practically hear the crowds roaring. What else?
Then, for a taste of local life, head to the San Benedetto Market,
Ooh, a market. What kind of market is it?
a bustling indoor market where you can find everything from fresh produce and seafood
I love a good food market.
to local crafts and souvenirs.
I can already picture myself wandering through that market, soaking up the sights and smells.
It's an experience.
And after a day of exploring the city, what's a good way to unwind?
Well, Cagliari has a beautiful beach right on its doorstep.
Convenient. What's it called?
Poeto Beach.
Poeto Beach. Okay, got it.
It's one of the longest urban beaches in Europe,
I had no idea.
and it's the perfect place to relax, soak up the sun, and take a dip in the Mediterranean.
Okay, so we've got history, culture, and beaches all in one city. Cagliari sounds like the perfect starting point. But as much as I love cities, I'm also eager to explore the rest of the island. What other destinations should be on our radar?
Well, if you're looking for a taste of Catalan charm, you have to head north to Alghero.
Okay, Alghero. Got it.
This coastal city has a fascinating history.
Oh,
It was conquered by the Catalans in the 14th century.
wow, I didn't know that.
And that influence is still visible today in the city's architecture, language, and even its cuisine.
Wait, so I could experience a bit of Spain and Italy.
Yeah.
Tell me more about Alghero.
You'll find a beautifully preserved historic center
Okay, that's always a plus.
with narrow, winding streets and stunning Spanish Gothic architecture.
Okay, that's going on the list.
And just off the coast, there's Neptune's Grotto, a magical sea cave.
Now you're speaking my language.
Caves filled with stalactites and stalagmites that you can explore by boat.
Okay, Neptune's Grotto, that sounds incredible. All right, so we've got Cagliari and Alghero both offering a unique blend of history and culture. But I know we can't talk about Sardinia without mentioning those legendary beaches. Where should we head for that picture-perfect Mediterranean beach experience?
Oh, you are in for a treat. Sardinia's coastline is truly breathtaking.
I'm ready. Hit me with those beach recommendations.
And it seems like every turn reveals another cove or beach more stunning than the last.
Don't tease me. Give me some names.
Let's start with La Pelosa Beach in the northwest near Stintino. It's known for its fine white sand
Okay, that's the classic Mediterranean beach I'm picturing.
and sparkling turquoise waters that are so clear you can see your toes even when you're waist deep.
Okay, I'm already picturing myself lounging on that beach with a good book.
It's idyllic.
What other beaches should we add to our list?
Well, in the south, there's Chia Beach.
Chia Beach. Okay.
It's a bit wilder than La Pelosa, with dramatic dunes and crystal clear waters that offer incredible panoramic views.
Okay, so La Pelosa for that postcard-perfect paradise, and Chia for a bit more of a rugged natural experience. What about something a little more off the beaten path, a hidden gem that most tourists don't know about?
For that, you have to head to Cala Golorizze on the eastern coast. This secluded beach is nestled between towering limestone cliffs and a natural arch. It's only accessible by boat or a scenic hike.
Okay, I'm up for a challenge.
But the reward is well worth it. The water is an incredible emerald green, and the whole scene is simply breathtaking.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here. Sardinia is all about those breathtaking views. I'm adding Cala Golorizze to my must-see list. But with so many beaches to choose from, how do we even begin to narrow it down?
That's the beauty of Sardinia. There's truly a beach for every taste.
Sure.
You've got those iconic picture-perfect beaches like La Pelosa.
Right.
You've got those wilder, more rugged beaches like Chia. And then you've got those secluded, hidden gems like Cala Golorizze.
And I'm guessing those are just a few examples.
Oh, there are many more.
Okay, I'm officially convinced that I need at least a month to explore all the beaches of Sardinia.
Yeah,
But you know what goes perfectly with a day at the beach? Delicious food.
you read my mind.
And I've heard Sardinian cuisine is something special. What can we expect to be indulging in on this trip?
Get ready for a culinary adventure. Sardinian cuisine is all about fresh, local ingredients and centuries-old traditions. Okay, my stomach is rumbling. Give me the rundown of the must-try dishes.
Well, being an island,
Oh.
seafood is a staple, and it's incredibly fresh.
Okay, that's a given.
Imagine indulging in grilled fish seasoned with just a squeeze of lemon,
Simple, yet delicious.
or succulent lobster fresh from the Mediterranean.
Ooh, I'm getting hungry.
Or for a truly local experience, try spaghetti ai ricci pasta with sea urchin.
Okay, spaghetti ai ricci, got it.
Oh.
Seafood? Check. What about for the meat lovers out there?
You absolutely have to try portadou, the traditional suckling pig.
Okay, I've heard of that.
It's slow roasted over an open fire until the skin is crispy and the meat is incredibly tender and flavorful. Oh man, that sounds good.
It's a true feast for the senses.
Okay, that sounds incredible. What about cheese? I know Italy is famous for its cheese, so I'm guessing Sardinia has its own specialties.
You're absolutely right. Pecorino cheese, made from sheep's milk, is a Sardinian staple.
Pecorino, nice.
It has a distinctive, salty, and slightly sharp flavor.
I love sheep's milk cheese.
Try it drizzled with local honey for a truly divine experience.
Okay, so seafood, suckling pig, pecorino cheese. What are we washing all this deliciousness down with? What about the wine?
Sardinia has a long and proud winemaking tradition.
I bet they do.
Their signature red wine is Cannonau, a full-bodied, robust wine with hints of dark fruit and spice. It's the perfect pairing for a hearty Sardinian meal.
Cannonau it is.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our food and wine sorted. But beyond the culinary delights, what are some cultural experiences we shouldn't miss?
Sardinia has a vibrant cultural scene, with festivals and events happening throughout the year.
Okay, so there's always something going on.
One highlight is the Sardinia Festival, a celebration of traditional Sardinian music, dance, and food.
Sounds like a party.
It's a fantastic way to immerse yourself in the local culture.
So music, dance, and food, what's not to love? Any other cultural experiences we should add to our list?
If you happen to be in Oristano during carnival season.
Carnival.
Yeah.
Like Mardi Gras.
Yes, exactly. You can't miss Sassartilia, a unique equestrian event that dates back to the Middle Ages.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It involves skilled horsemen competing in a series of challenges, including trying to spear a star-shaped target while riding at full speed.
Wow, a medieval jousting tournament. That sounds incredible. Okay, so we've got a pretty good idea of what to expect in terms of culture and history, but now let's get practical. How do we even get to this island paradise?
The easiest way to reach Sardinia is by flying.
Okay, that's usually my go-to.
Into one of the two main airports, Olbia Smeralda Airport in the north,
Okay.
or Cagliari Airport in the south.
Okay.
Both airports have connections to major European cities.
Good to know. What about ferries? Is that an option?
Absolutely. Alternatively, you can take a ferry from mainland Italy
Okay.
or other Mediterranean islands,
Makes sense.
which is a more scenic option but takes a bit longer.
Good to know. Now, what are some essential tips for first-time visitors to Sardinia? Things we should keep in mind before we go.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is that while Italian is the official language, you'll hear a lot of Sardinian being spoken, especially in smaller towns and villages.
So it's good to know a little bit of both, I guess.
It can't hurt. But don't worry, most people in tourist areas also speak some English. But it's always a good idea to learn a few basic Italian phrases just to show respect for the local culture.
So brush up on those buongiornos and grazies. What else should we know?
Sardinia uses the euro,
Of course.
so be sure to exchange your currency before you arrive or withdraw cash at a local ATM.
Good advice. What about safety? Is Sardinia a safe place to travel?
Absolutely. Sardinia is generally a very safe destination.
That's good to hear.
With a low crime rate, just take the usual precautions you would anywhere else.
Okay, that's reassuring to know.
Yeah.
And finally, what's the best time to visit?
The best time to visit Sardinia is between May and October.
So pretty much any time it's warm.
Exactly. When the weather is warm and sunny, perfect for enjoying those amazing beaches.
Makes sense. Are there any months to avoid?
July and August can get quite crowded and hot.
Ah, so that's when all the tourists flock there.
So if you prefer a quieter experience, consider visiting in the shoulder seasons of May, June, September, or October.
So those shoulder seasons are the sweet spot for avoiding the crowds and still enjoying that perfect Mediterranean weather.
Precisely. And since you've already mentioned wanting to explore both the cities and the beaches,
Of course.
I think a 2-week itinerary would be perfect for getting a good taste of what Sardinia has to offer.
Okay, I'm sold. A 2-week Sardinian adventure it is. Let's start mapping out this dream itinerary.
I'm ready when you are. Let's make this a trip you'll never forget.
All right, listeners. We're about to craft the ultimate 2-week Sardinian itinerary. But you'll have to tune in to part 2 to find out where we're headed first.
All right, are you ready to map out our 2-week Sardinian itinerary?
Absolutely. I've got my notepad and pen ready to go.
Excellent.
I'm all ears for these hidden gems.
Well, we left off talking about Cagliari.
The capital city,
Right.
our starting point.
So, for day 1, let's immerse ourselves in its historical charm.
Sounds like a plan. What's first on the agenda?
Let's start by checking into a charming hotel, or B&B, in the Castello district.
Okay.
This historic neighborhood is perched on a hilltop,
Okay, I like the sound of that.
offering stunning views of the city and the sea.
Okay, so we're starting off with breathtaking views. I love it.
Once you've settled in, take a leisurely stroll through the narrow, winding streets of the Castello.
Yes. Love those kinds of streets. What will we see?
You'll encounter ancient fortifications, grand palazzos, and hidden courtyards,
Ooh, I love discovering those hidden courtyards.
each whispering tales of the city's rich past.
I can already picture myself getting lost in those charming streets. What are some specific landmarks we should keep an eye out for?
Well, you can't miss the Torre de Elefante, a medieval tower that once served as a watchtower,
Okay.
offering panoramic views of the city.
More amazing views.
And be sure to visit the Cathedral of Santa Maria, a beautiful example of Pisan Romanesque architecture.
Okay, so those are our morning must-sees. Now, what about lunch? I'm ready to start sampling that delicious Sardinian cuisine we talked about.
For lunch, I recommend finding a trattoria in the Castello, a casual, family-run restaurant where you can savor authentic Sardinian flavors.
Ooh, I'm all about those authentic local experiences. What should we order?
Well, you could try malaretas, a traditional Sardinian pasta dish,
Malaretas?
or fregola, a type of couscous made from semolina.
Frigella, okay.
Both are typically served with flavorful sauces, often featuring local ingredients like sausage, pecorino cheese, or saffron.
Okay, those are definitely going on my list of must-try dishes. Now, what about the afternoon? More exploring in the Castello, or should we venture out to a different part of the city?
Let's head down from the Castello and explore the Marina District.
Okay.
A vibrant waterfront area with a bustling atmosphere.
I love being by the water.
You can wander along the harbor, admire the boats bobbing in the water,
Sounds relaxing.
and maybe stop for a gelato at one of the many cafes.
Gelato by the harbor. Sounds perfect. And what about dinner? Any suggestions for our first night in Cagliari?
For dinner, let's head to a restaurant specializing in fresh seafood.
Of course, we're right on the coast.
You're right on the coast, so take advantage of the bounty of the Mediterranean.
What are some must-try seafood dishes?
You could try burrito,
Burrito?
a traditional fish stew,
Stew sounds perfect.
or spaghetti irici, pasta with sea urchin, a local delicacy.
Okay, seafood it is. I can't wait to taste those fresh Mediterranean flavors. So, that wraps up day 1, a perfect blend of history, culture, and culinary delights. What's in store for us on day 2?
Day 2, we're going to dive deeper into Cagliari's history and culture.
I'm ready for more.
Let's start with a visit to the Roman amphitheater,
Oh, right, the one you mentioned earlier.
one of the best preserved Roman amphitheaters in the world.
Wow, that sounds incredible. What can we expect to see there?
The amphitheater is a massive structure that dates back to the 2nd century AD.
Wow, that's ancient.
You can explore the seating area.
Okay.
Imagine the gladiators battling in the arena
Ooh, I get chills just thinking about it.
and get a real sense of what life was like in Roman times.
Okay, I'm picturing myself stepping back in time, feeling the energy of those ancient spectacles. What should we do after our Roman adventure?
For a complete change of pace, let's head to the National Archaeological Museum.
Okay.
It houses an incredible collection of artifacts from Sardinia's long and diverse history,
Okay, sounds right up my alley.
from prehistoric times to the Middle Ages.
Wow, that's a wide range.
Mm.
What kind of things will we see?
You'll see everything from Nuragic bronze statues and Roman mosaics
Amazing.
to Byzantine jewelry and medieval pottery.
Wow, so we can trace the entire sweep of Sardinian history in one museum. That's amazing. What about the afternoon?
Let's take a break from the museums and head to the San Benedetto market.
Yes, the market. We're finally going.
It's one of the largest indoor markets in Italy, and it's a feast for the senses.
Ooh, I love a good food market. What can we expect to find there?
You'll find everything from fresh produce and seafood
Okay.
to local cheeses, cured meats, wines, and even souvenirs.
So basically everything, and perfect for gifts for friends and family back home.
Exactly. It's the perfect place to pick up some edible gifts to take home or just to wander around and soak up the vibrant atmosphere.
Okay, I'm adding people watching at the market to my list of must-dos.
Mhm.
What about dinner on day 2? Any suggestions?
Since you'll be at the market,
Right.
why not pick up some ingredients and have a picnic?
Ooh, a picnic. I love that idea.
You can find delicious bread, cheese, olives, cured meats,
Okay.
and even wine at the market.
Perfect. Sounds like a feast.
And then find a scenic spot to enjoy your feast.
Ooh, a Sardinian picnic. That's a great idea. Okay, so that wraps up day 2, a day filled with history, culture, and market delights. What adventures await us on day 3?
Day 3, we're hitting the road. We're leaving Cagliari and heading north to the stunning Costa Smeralda, the Emerald Coast.
Ooh, a road trip. I'm ready to explore more of this beautiful island.
The drive is about 2.5 hours,
Not bad at all.
and it takes you through some of the most scenic landscapes in Sardinia.
Okay, I'm excited.
Along the way, we can stop at a few viewpoints to admire the breathtaking coastal scenery and snap some photos.
Sounds like the perfect road trip.
Yeah.
What's our first stop on the Costa Smeralda?
Our first stop is Porto Cervo, the iconic heart of the Costa Smeralda.
Okay, I've heard of Porto Cervo. It's supposed to be super glamorous, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Porto Cervo is known for its luxurious marina,
Oh.
filled with mega yachts, designer boutiques, and upscale restaurants.
Wow, that's quite the scene.
It's the playground of the rich and famous,
Right.
and it's definitely worth a visit.
Okay, so even if we're not millionaires.
Yes, even if it's just to people watch and soak up the atmosphere.
So pack your fanciest outfit for this stop. What should we do in Porto Cervo?
Well, take a stroll along the waterfront promenade,
Sounds nice.
admire the luxurious yachts,
Okay.
and maybe do some window shopping in those designer boutiques.
Right, window shopping.
You can even find some hidden art galleries tucked away in the back streets.
Ooh, I love discovering hidden gems.
They're a nice change of pace from the glitz and glam.
Sounds like a fun way to spend the afternoon. And what about dinner?
For dinner, let's splurge on a meal at one of Porto Cervo's many gourmet restaurants.
Ooh, fancy. What kind of food will we find there?
You can find everything from traditional Sardinian cuisine
What?
to Michelin-starred fine dining.
Okay, a night of indulgence in Porto Cervo. I'm excited. Now, what about day 4? More exploring on the Costa Smeralda.
Day 4 is all about experiencing those legendary Costa Smeralda beaches.
Yes, beach day.
And trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Okay, bring on those picture-perfect beaches. Where should we start?
Let's start with Lisiaruja, one of the most famous beaches on the Costa Smeralda.
Lisiarujas.
It's known for its long stretch of fine white sand, crystal clear turquoise water, and backdrop of lush Mediterranean vegetation.
Okay, I can already picture myself swimming in that turquoise water. What other beaches should we add to our Costa Smeralda beach hopping adventure?
Well, just south of Lisiaruja, you'll find Capriccioli Beach.
Okay.
It's a bit smaller and more secluded than Lisiaruja,
Okay.
with rocky outcrops that create sheltered coves perfect for swimming and snorkeling.
Okay, so we've got the iconic Lisiaruja and the secluded Capriccioli. What about something a little more offbeat?
For something truly unique, head to Spiaggia del Principe, or Prince's Beach.
Prince's Beach, okay.
It's named after Prince Karim Aga Khan,
Ooh, royalty.
who fell in love with this secluded cove in the 1960s
Okay.
and helped develop the Costa Smeralda into the glamorous destination it is today.
Prince's Beach, I love it. So a mix of iconic, secluded, and even a touch of royal history. What about lunch on our beach hopping day?
Let's keep things casual and grab lunch at a beachside cafe or trattoria.
Right.
Many of the beaches along the Costa Smeralda have casual dining options
Perfect.
where you can enjoy fresh seafood, sandwiches, salads,
Okay, good variety.
or even just a gelato while soaking up the views.
Sounds perfect. And what about dinner on day 4?
For dinner, let's head to a restaurant in Baja Sardinia,
Okay.
a charming town just north of Porto Cervo.
Got it.
It's known for its lively atmosphere and its great selection of restaurants,
I love discovering charming towns.
many of which offer stunning views of the coastline.
Okay, day 4 is sounding like a perfect mix of beach bliss and culinary delights. What's on the agenda for day 5?
Day 5, we're going to leave the mainland and embark on a boat trip.
Ooh, a boat trip. Where are we going?
To the Maddalena archipelago,
Maddalena Archipelago, okay.
a group of islands just off the coast of Sardinia.
A boat trip. That sounds incredible. What's so special about the Maddalena Archipelago?
The Maddalena archipelago is known for its unspoiled beauty.
Okay, so we're getting away from the crowds.
Exactly. With crystal clear waters, secluded coves, and pristine beaches that rival anything you'll find on the mainland.
Okay, I'm sold. What are some of the must-see islands in the archipelago?
Well, the main island,
Okay.
La Maddalena,
Maddalena.
is worth exploring.
Okay.
It has a charming town with colorful houses, shops, and restaurants. But the real highlight of the archipelago is the smaller island of Spargi.
Spargi. Got it.
It's known for its incredible beaches,
Okay, like which ones?
including Cala Corsera, a series of coves with pink granite rocks,
Pink granite rocks. Wow.
white sand, and turquoise water.
Pink granite rocks, white sand, turquoise water. Sign me up. What about lunch on our boat trip?
Many of the boat tours include a stop for lunch at a restaurant on one of the islands.
Okay, sounds good.
You can enjoy fresh seafood, pasta dishes,
Right.
or even just a picnic on the beach.
Okay, lunch with a view. And what about the evening after our boat trip?
We'll head back to the mainland in the late afternoon,
Okay.
and then you can have dinner in Palau,
Palau. Got
a
it.
charming town on the coast that serves as the gateway to the Maddalena archipelago.
Day 5. Check. I'm loving this mix of exploring cities, beaches, and even getting out on the water. What adventures await us on day 6?
Day 6, we're heading south to Alghero,
Alghero. Yes, we talked about that earlier.
the charming city with Catalan influences.
Right, a little bit of Spain and Italy.
Exactly.
I'm excited for this one.
The drive is about 2.5 hours, and it takes you through some stunning scenery,
Okay, I'm ready for more stunning scenery.
including the dramatic cliffs of Capo Cace.
Okay, road trip to Alghero. What should we do when we arrive?
Let's check into a hotel or B&B in the heart of Alghero's historic center.
Okay, in the heart of it all.
A maze of narrow, winding streets,
Yes.
lined with pastel-colored buildings, charming boutiques, and restaurants serving up a unique blend of Sardinian and Catalan cuisine.
Okay, so lots to see and do and lots to eat.
Exactly.
Sounds like a perfect place to get lost exploring. What are some of the must-sees in Alghero's historic center?
Well, you can't miss the Cattedrale di Santa Maria,
The cathedral.
a beautiful example of Catalan Gothic architecture.
Okay, that's a must-see.
And be sure to walk along the impressive seawalls
Seawalls.
built to protect the city from invaders,
Wow, I bet they've seen a lot of history.
which now offer breathtaking views of the coastline.
Okay, so we've got architecture and those breathtaking views again. What about dinner on our first night in Alghero?
For dinner, I recommend finding a restaurant specializing in Catalan-influenced Sardinian cuisine.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. What should we order?
Try the paella algerese,
Okay, yeah.
a
Okay.
local version of the classic Spanish dish,
I love paella.
made with fresh seafood and local saffron.
Ooh, I love paella. Okay, day 6 is shaping up to be a feast for both the eyes and the stomach. What's on the agenda for day 7?
Day 7 is dedicated to exploring the natural wonders around Alghero.
Okay, what kind of natural wonders?
In the morning, let's take a boat trip to Neptune's Grotto,
Neptune's Grotto, yes.
a spectacular sea cave just off the coast.
Neptune's Grotto, we talked about this earlier. Remind me, what's so special about this cave?
This magical underworld is filled with stalactites, stalagmites,
Right, those amazing formations.
and a saltwater lake. You can access the cave by boat or by descending a long staircase carved into the cliffside.
Wow, so there are 2 ways to get there. Sounds cool.
It depends on how adventurous you're feeling.
Okay, I'm picturing myself standing in awe of nature's grandeur. And after our cave exploration, what's next?
After your cave adventure, spend the afternoon relaxing on one of Alghero's beautiful beaches.
Okay, back to the beach.
La Pelosa Beach, just north of the city, is a must-visit.
La Pelosa Beach, okay.
With its powdery white sand,
Yes,
shallow turquoise waters,
perfect.
and views of the Asinara Island.
Okay.
It's considered one of the most beautiful beaches in all of Italy.
Okay, I'm adding swim in the turquoise waters of La Pelosa Beach to my ever-growing list of Sardinian dreams. So that brings us to day 7, a perfect blend of adventure and relaxation. What adventures are you whisking us away to on day 8?
Day 8 takes us on a journey back in time. We're heading inland to explore the fascinating world of the Nuragic civilization.
Wait, the Nuragic civilization, the one with those mysterious stone towers?
Yeah.
You're really speaking my language. What's the plan for our Nuragic adventure?
We're going to visit the Nuraga Santuentine,
Okay.
one of the most impressive and well-preserved nuraghi in Sardinia.
Nuraga Santuentine. Got it.
It's located near the town of Torralba,
Okay.
about an hour's drive from Alghero.
Okay. Road trip to a mysterious ancient site. Sounds amazing. What can we expect to see at the Nuraga Santuentine?
Picture this, a massive stone complex
I'm picturing it.
dating back to the Bronze Age.
Wow.
made entirely of giant basalt blocks.
Okay, these people knew how to build.
It's a central tower surrounded by a series of smaller towers and walls, all connected by narrow passages and courtyards.
I'm getting Indiana Jones vibes.
You can explore the Naraja, climb to the top of the central tower for panoramic views of the surrounding countryside.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here. Sardinia is all about the panoramic views.
And just imagine what life was like for the people who built and lived in this incredible structure thousands of years ago.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Mm.
What a way to connect with the ancient history of Sardinia. What about lunch on our Nuragic adventure day?
There's a small cafe near the Naraga Santuantine where you can grab a quick lunch.
Okay.
Or we can pack a picnic and find a scenic spot in the surrounding countryside.
Okay, I'm loving this mix of exploring ancient sites and enjoying the natural beauty of Sardinia. After our Nuragic adventure, where are we heading?
After our visit to the Naraga, let's head to Bosa,
Rosa.
term found on the west coast, about an hour's drive south. Bosa is known for its colorful houses, its picturesque setting along the Timo River,
Oh, a river town.
and its medieval castle perched on a hilltop overlooking the town.
Okay, so a charming town with colorful houses and a medieval castle. What's not to love? What should we do in Bosa?
Take a stroll along the Lungo Pamo,
Lungo Tamo.
the riverside promenade,
Right.
and admire the colorful houses that line the riverbank.
Sounds charming.
Visit the Castello Malaspina, the medieval castle,
Okay.
and enjoy panoramic views of the town and the coastline.
More panoramic views. I'm starting to see why you love Sardinia so much.
And be sure to sample the local Malvasia di Bosa wine, a sweet dessert wine that's a specialty of the region.
Okay, I'm adding sample Malvasia di Bosa wine to my list.
Yeah.
And what about dinner in Bosa?
Bosa has a great selection of restaurants,
Okay,
serving fresh seafood and traditional Sardinian cuisine.
perfect.
Find a restaurant with outdoor seating along the river
Yes. Dinner with a view.
and enjoy a delicious meal while soaking up the charming atmosphere.
Okay, Day 8, exploring an ancient Nuragic site, a charming town, a medieval castle, and delicious local wine. You're really spoiling us. What's next on our Sardinian adventure?
Day 9, we're heading back inland to explore the mountainous region of Barbesia, the heartland of Sardinian culture and tradition.
Okay, so we're going from the coast to the mountains. What can we expect in Barbesia?
Barbesia is a rugged and beautiful region with towering mountains, deep gorges,
Sounds dramatic.
and dense forests.
Okay, I'm picturing something very different from the coast.
It's also a region with a strong sense of identity,
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of identity?
where ancient traditions and customs are still very much alive.
I'm intrigued. What are some of the highlights we should see in Barbesia?
Let's start by visiting Orgosolo,
Orgosolo.
a town known for its murals, which depict scenes from Sardinian life, history, and politics.
Murals depicting Sardinian life. That sounds incredible. What else is there to see and do in Orgosolo?
Well, you can explore the town's narrow streets,
Of course.
admire the traditional houses,
Right.
and maybe even visit a local artisan workshop to see traditional crafts being made.
Okay, I'm all about those authentic cultural experiences. And after Orgosolo, where are we heading?
After Orgosolo, let's head to Mamoyada,
Mamoyada.
a town known for its mamathones.
Mammothons. What are those?
Traditional masked figures that represent ancient pagan rituals.
Wait, masked figures representing ancient pagan rituals. Okay, you've officially piqued my curiosity. Tell me more about the mammothons.
The mamathones are dressed in sheepskins
Okay.
and wear grotesque wooden masks,
Okay.
and they parade through the streets during the carnival celebrations,
Right, the carnival celebration.
making a rhythmic sound with cowbells attached to their backs. It's a truly unique and unforgettable spectacle.
Wow, that sounds like quite a sight.
And it's a glimpse into the ancient roots of Sardinian culture.
Wow, I'm adding Witness the Mammothons to my must-do list.
Ah.
What about lunch on our Barbegia adventure day?
Let's find a traditional restaurant in either Orgosolo or Mamoyada, where we can sample some of the local specialties.
Sounds good. What kind of food can we expect?
Barbagia is known for its hearty cuisine,
Okay.
featuring roasted meats, cheeses, and pasta dishes.
Sounds delicious. And after our Barbagia adventure, where are we spending the night?
After our day exploring Barbagia, we'll head to Nuoro,
Oh, okay.
the regional capital, for the night.
Okay.
Nuoro is a bustling town with a good selection of hotels and restaurants.
Sounds like a good place to base ourselves.
And it's a good base for exploring the surrounding area.
Okay, day 9 is sounding like a deep dive into the heart of Sardinian culture and tradition. I can't wait. What's in store for us on day 10?
Day 10, we're continuing our exploration of Barbagia.
More Barbagia, okay.
We're going to visit the Supramonte,
Supramonte, okay.
a wild and mountainous area known for its dramatic scenery,
Okay.
its ancient forests, and its hidden treasures.
Okay, so we're going from towns and villages to exploring the wilderness. What's the plan for our Supramonte adventure?
We're going to hike to the Gola di Goropu,
Cola di Goropo.
one of Europe's deepest canyons.
Wow, a canyon.
The scenery is absolutely breathtaking, with towering limestone cliffs, crystal clear rivers, and dense forests.
Oh, a hike through a canyon. Okay, I'm definitely going to need my hiking boots for this one. How challenging is the hike?
There are different trails you can take depending on your fitness level.
Okay, good to know.
There's a relatively easy trail that takes you to the entrance of the canyon,
Okay,
and then there are more challenging trails that take you deeper into the canyon.
okay, so we can choose our own adventure. What about lunch on our hiking day?
We can pack a picnic and find a scenic spot along the trail,
Sounds perfect. Picnic with a view?
or at the entrance to the canyon.
Perfect. And after our hike, what's the plan?
After our hike, we'll head back to Nuoro for the night.
Okay.
And for dinner, let's find a restaurant that specializes in traditional Sardinian cuisine from the Barbagia region.
Okay, day 10, exploring canyons, hiking through ancient forests, and indulging in Barbagia's hearty cuisine. I'm loving it. What adventures await us on day 11?
Day 11, we're bidding farewell to the mountains and heading back to the coast.
Okay, back to the beaches.
We're going to visit the Gulf of Orsay,
Go Forsay, okay?
one of the most beautiful stretches of coastline in the Mediterranean.
Okay, back to those stunning beaches.
Yeah.
What's the plan for our Gulf of Orsay adventure?
We're going to take a boat trip along the Gulf,
Another boat trip. I'm not complaining.
which will allow us to explore some of the most secluded and beautiful beaches in Sardinia.
Oh, I love secluded beaches.
Many of which are only accessible by boat.
Ooh, a boat trip. I can't wait to see what hidden gems await us. Which beaches are we going to visit?
We'll visit Calaluna,
Calaluna.
one of the most famous beaches in the Gulf of Orsay.
Okay.
It's a crescent-shaped beach with crystal clear turquoise water and towering limestone cliffs
Wow, sounds amazing.
that create a truly breathtaking setting. We'll also visit Calamariolo,
Calamariolo.
known for its white pebble beach and incredible turquoise waters.
Okay, Calaluna and Calamariolo, two of the most stunning beaches in Sardinia. What about lunch on our boat trip?
Many of the boat tours include a stop for lunch at a restaurant on one of the beaches,
Okay.
or even on the boat itself.
Right.
You can enjoy fresh seafood, pasta dishes,
Yeah.
or even just a picnic lunch while soaking up the views.
Okay, lunch with a view, I'm there. And after our boat trip, where are we heading?
After our boat trip, we'll head to the town of Calaganone,
Calaluna.
a charming coastal town that's a popular base for exploring the Gulf of Orsay.
Okay, so we'll be spending the night there.
Exactly. We'll spend the night there, and you'll have some free time to explore the town.
Sounds good.
Relax on the beach,
Always a good option.
or maybe have dinner at a seaside restaurant.
Okay, day 11, exploring hidden beaches, cruising along a breathtaking coastline, and enjoying the charming town of Calalganone. Sounds like a perfect day. What adventures await us on day 12?
Day 12, we're continuing our exploration of the Gulf of Orsay.
More Gulf of Orsay. Okay.
But this time, we're going to experience it from a different perspective. We're going on a kayaking trip.
Okay, now that's a unique adventure. Kayaking in the Gulf of Orsay. Tell me more.
We'll rent kayaks and paddle along the coastline,
Okay.
exploring secluded coves, hidden caves,
Ooh, I love exploring caves.
and dramatic sea cliffs.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Will we be kayaking on our own or with a guide?
It's up to you. You can go with a guide or explore on your own.
Okay, good to know. So there's an option for all levels of experience.
It's a great way to get some exercise,
Right.
enjoy the fresh air,
Huh?
and experience the beauty of the Gulf from a different perspective.
I love it. What about lunch on our kayaking day?
We can pack a picnic lunch and find a secluded beach or cove where we can stop and enjoy our meal.
Okay, a picnic lunch on a secluded beach. Sounds idyllic. And after our kayaking adventure, what's the plan?
After our kayaking trip, we'll head back to Calaganone for the night.
Okay.
And for dinner, let's find a restaurant specializing in fresh seafood.
Okay, day 12 kayaking, secluded beaches, and fresh seafood. Another amazing day. What's in store for us on day 13?
Day 13, we're leaving the Gulf of Orsay and heading back toward Cagliari.
Okay, so starting to make our way back to where we started.
But along the way, we're going to make a stop at a truly unique and unforgettable destination.
Ooh, a mystery stop. I love it. Tell me more.
We're going to visit the Grotte de Sumanao,
Okay.
a spectacular cave system located near the town of Flumina Maggiore,
Glumina Maggiore, okay.
about a 2-hour drive south of Calaganone.
Okay, another cave adventure. What's so special about the Grotte de Sumanao?
These caves are home to a breathtaking array of stalactites, stalagmites.
Okay, I'm picturing those amazing formations again. And other incredible formations.
Right. Like you said, truly breathtaking.
Okay, I'm picturing those amazing formations again. But what makes these caves extra special?
What makes them truly unique is that they were once used as a place of worship by the Nuragic people. You can still see evidence of their ancient rituals in the caves,
Wow, that's incredible.
making it a truly fascinating and mystical experience.
Wow. Ancient rituals in a cave. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah.
What else should we know about the Grotte de Sumanao?
Well, the caves are open to the public,
Okay, so we can actually go inside.
and there are guided tours that will take you through the different chambers and explain the history and geology of the caves.
Okay, so we can learn about what we're seeing.
The tours typically last about an hour.
Okay, so we'll be exploring the caves with an expert guide. Sounds perfect. What about lunch on our cave exploring day?
There's a small cafe near the caves where you can grab a quick lunch,
Oh.
or we can pack a picnic and find a scenic spot in the surrounding countryside.
Okay, I'm loving this mix of exploring caves, ancient history, and the beautiful Sardinian countryside. After our cave adventure, where are we heading?
After our visit to the Grotte de Sumanao, we'll continue our drive towards Cagliari, arriving in the late afternoon.
Perfect. We'll have some time to settle into our hotel and maybe freshen up before dinner. Where should we go for our last dinner? Outside of Cagliari.
Let's find a traditional restaurant in one of the small towns along the coast. There are many charming towns between Flumina Maggiore and Cagliari,
Okay.
each with its own unique character and culinary specialties.
Okay, so a final taste of authentic Sardinian cuisine in a charming coastal town. Sounds like the perfect way to end our day.
Mm-hmm.
What adventures are you whisking us away to on day 14, our final day in Sardinia?
Day 14, our last day in Sardinia, is a chance to revisit a favorite spot, explore something new, or simply relax and soak up the last moments of this incredible island paradise.
I love that. A day to create our own adventure and savor those final Sardinian moments.
Exactly.
But before we let our listeners go and start planning their own trips, we need to give them some practical advice. What are some final tips for first-time visitors to Sardinia?
Well, we've already talked about the best time to visit, the importance of renting a car, and some basic Italian phrases to know.
Right.
But here are a few more things to keep in mind.
Okay, I'm all ears.
First, don't underestimate the size of Sardinia. It's a larger island than many people realize,
Okay, good one.
and getting around can take time.
So don't try to cram too much in.
Exactly. So if you're only visiting for a week or two, don't try to see and do everything. Instead, focus on a few key areas that interest you and really immerse yourself in those regions.
That's great advice. It's all about quality over quantity when it comes to travel experiences. What else should we tell our listeners?
Second, be prepared to embrace the unexpected. Sardinia is an island with a strong sense of tradition and a laid-back pace of life.
Okay.
Things may not always go according to plan.
Right, that's part of the adventure.
But that's part of the charm. Be flexible, go with the flow, and enjoy the journey.
I love that. It's all about embracing the unexpected and going with the flow, especially when traveling. Any other final words of wisdom?
Finally, take the time to connect with the locals. Sardinians are known for their warm hospitality,
Okay, we've heard that from a lot of people who've been there.
and they're always happy to share their culture and traditions with visitors.
Okay, so don't be shy.
Don't be afraid to strike up a conversation, ask for recommendations, and learn more about this incredible island from the people who know it best.
That's such great advice. It's those personal connections that truly make a travel experience memorable. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and passion for Sardinia with us.
My pleasure.
You've created an incredible 2-week itinerary,
I hope so.
and I know our listeners are going to be inspired to start planning their own Sardinian adventures.
It's been my pleasure to share my love of Sardinia with you.
Listeners, we hope you've enjoyed our Sardinian adventure. We've explored its history, its culture, its natural wonders, and its culinary delights. Now it's your turn to discover the hidden gem of the Mediterranean. Pack your bags, embrace the unexpected, and create your own Sardinian story. Ciao.